Alright, so this is the worksheet we're working on today. I'm going to go over an example, 3 examples, one for each one. So, what is a constant of proportionality for the table? So we're trying to determine whether or not the table is proportional. And the way that we do that is look at how the x and the y are changing, right? So, x is how many times Zachary turns a crank, y is the feet that it turns. So, if we increase this by 7, because 1 plus 7 is 8, and in the y, it also goes from 1 to 8. So that'd be 1 plus 7 is 8. Alright, and then from 8 to 12, it goes plus 4. From 8 to 12, it goes plus 4. So then what we need to do is to find the constant proportionalities. We take our y value divided by our x value, right? Even though they don't change by the same amount, we should be able to see that they're proportional. 1 divided by 1, so we have 1 divided by 1 is 1. If I do it for the second one, 8 divided by 8, 8 divided by 8 is also 1. 12 divided by 12, 12 divided by 12 is also 1. So we should hopefully know that my constant of proportionality is going to be 1. So we can say therefore that m is equal to 1. Now if we look at a graph is actually very easy. All you need to do is pick 2 points on that graph. Doesn't matter what they are. Just as long as try to make it ones that are like easy to read. Like we wouldn't want to choose this right here because that might be 2.5 and 2.5. I don't know, but I do know for a fact that this one is at 3 and 3, and I know for a fact that it's at 0 and 0. Right, and so we should hopefully know by now that if I look at it, I can do rise over run. And what that means is I'm looking at how the y changes over the x. So we always want to go rise and run. So we go up 1, right 1. Then from that point I go up 1, right 1. Then from that point I go up 1, right 1. So my rise over run will be 1 over 1, which is just 1. So my constant proportionality m is 1. Okay, this one's a little bit different. For this graph, if you notice, I can pick 0, 0, because it's proportional. And then if I follow the line, I should be able to find another point right there that I can choose. I could go even further if I wanted to, and I could go all the way up to here as well. So we're trying to pick a point that falls on those grid lines. And then we're going to do our rise over run. So I would go up 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4. So my rise would be positive 4. And then I go right 1. So my run would be positive 1. 4 divided by 1 is 4. So my constant proportionality would be 4. So we're going to go to the next page, looking at number 7. We're going to read a word problem now. So the basketball gym at Leslie School was built in the 1940s, needs a lot of repair. So the school is asking families for donations to build a new gym. Leslie convinced some local businesses to match a fraction of the family's donations. There is a proportional relationship between the amount of money a family donates in dollars, X, and the matching contribution in dollars from local businesses, Y. So the amount of money that a family donates is X. So when we see a family donates, we know that that's going to be X. And then the business contributors is Y. So the business contribute 4. So that's my Y. What is the slope of the relationship between X and Y? Well, again, you take your Y divided by your X, and it would be 4 divided by 10. 4 divided by 10. If we simplify that down, it ends up being 2/5. Or also 0.4. Either one of those answers would be a correct answer, 2/5 or 0.4. The reason I simplify it is because 4 divided by 2 would be 2, 10 divided by 2 is 5, and I can't simplify 2/5 any further. Alright? So that's all we're doing for this entire one. If you need help, make sure I want you to at least attempt it first and then ask for help. Don't immediately just say, hey, I need help, and if you haven't even read the problem. All right.